In this session, we examine more detail on divisive clustering algorithms. We already introduced a general concept of divisive clustering. Essentially, is we start from a big single macro cluster. Then we try to find how to split them into two smaller clusters. We continue doing this. Finally, every single node becomes a singleton cluster. Okay. So this method actually is described in Kaufman and Russo's 1990 book called Diana or Divisive Analysis. It's also implemented in some statistic packages such as S+. This is essentially the inverse of Agnes. That means you start from bigger cluster, you start splitting them continuously, recursively. Finally, you will find that each one is a singleton cluster. Divisive clustering is a top-down approach because you start from all the points as one cluster, then you recursively split the high-level cluster to build the dendrogram. Okay. It can be considered as a global approach. It is more efficient when compared to agglomerative clustering because you don't have much choice. You just decide every point. You just decide how to split, and you do it recursively. But we will see how which cluster to split. If you have multiple clusters now, you can check the sum of the square arrows of the clusters and see which one is the largest one. Then you simply said this one is not very good. You want to split them. You want to reduce the sum of the square arrow overall. Then once you decide to split this cluster, then how do you split it? Okay. Actually, you may try to split in many ways, but you can use Watt's criterion we just introduced to see which split give you the greatest reduction in the difference of the SSE criterion. Then you choose that one to split. For categoric data, we can use Gini index in a similar way. Okay. Then the third issue is how to handle the noise. Essentially, when you decide to split, you don't want to split into two small clusters mainly contain noises. That means you need to use a threshold to determine the termination criterion. Okay. So these are the major issues at the design divisive clustering.